Okay, today we're going to work on our 1-2 work together. So in Applia, you can go ahead and click on that, which will bring us to our problem. We have up at the top a list of transactions. The nice thing about this is that over here on the right-hand side, you have this little pin button. If you click that, what happens is you can move this wherever you kind of need it to. So if you want it out of the way, I think you can also, make them a little bit smaller. So we could put it over here so it's easier for us to have everything on one screen and then we don't have to scroll so much. So what we're doing today is we're going to put a plus sign or a minus sign in the appropriate column for either assets, liabilities, or owner's equity. Obviously, if it's going to increase, we're going to put a plus sign, and if it's going to decrease, we're going to put a minus sign. So the first thing we have to look at is for our first transaction, we need to identify whether it's assets, liabilities, or owner's equity. So it says that we bought supplies on account. So our first one that we come across is supplies. If we remember, supplies is something that we own. So that would be an asset. And so since we bought supplies, we're getting them, which means supplies is going up. So over here in the assets section, we're going to put a plus sign. And then it also says on account. Remember, on account means that we did not pay cash for something. So we now owe somebody money. So when we owe somebody something, that means it's a liability. And because we didn't pay for it right away, it means our liability is going up. So over here, under transaction number 1, the liabilities, we're going to put a plus sign. So that's our first transaction. Assets are going up with supplies, and so is liabilities. Remember that we can do that because if you remember the equal sign, if you are on either side of that, we can have the same plus or minus. So we have that here. So our accounting equation would still be equal, and we are happy. So let's look at our second transaction, which says that we received cash from the owner as an investment. So remember, received cash, we consider to be an asset. It's something that we own. So over here under assets, we're going to put a plus. That's going up. And then what happened here is that the owner took money from his personal account and brought it over and put it into the business account, which means that the equity that he has in the business is going up. So owner's equity should also get a plus over here. And again, we can have a plus and a plus because we're on opposite sides of our accounting equation. Okay. So let's look at transaction number 3. It says we paid cash for insurance. So this is kind of a tricky one because both cash and insurance, if you remember from the lecture, are both assets. So what is happening to cash first? If we paid it, cash is going down, but we received insurance, so insurance is actually going up. And remember, the reason that we can do this, have a minus and a plus here, is that we're on the same side of the accounting equation. So we can do this because essentially these two cancel each other out. Okay. And transaction number 4 here says we paid cash on account. So again, paying cash, that's an asset. Cash is an asset. It's going down. We're paying somebody. So we're going to put a minus in our asset. And then remember, on account refers to our liabilities or the people that we owe money to. So when we pay them, our debt or the amount of money that we owe them also goes down. So we're going to go over here to liabilities and put a minus sign under liabilities. And again, we can do this because we're on opposite sides of the accounting equation. You always have to remember where that equal sign is and kind of draw that line. And if you're on opposite sides, they should be the same sign. If you're on the same side of the accounting equation, they should be opposite. Remember, we always want this equation, assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity, to be equal. So that's it for 1-2 work together. Go ahead and do your 1-2 on your own, and then you'll also have your 1-2 application problem to do.